Hello and welcome to the Forgeborn Finishing School. I'm Casey Kidd and I'll be analyzing Forgeborn battles to help take your game to the next level. A couple of episodes ago, we discussed some really fun and oftentimes internally synergistic Forge Word and base creature fuses. All of those combinations were in-faction fuses and showed the might of one faction. Today we are going to highlight some of the even more rare Betrayer Forge creature possibilities. Set 1 gave us the Corrupt Drone, which let you immediately upgrade a card from your hand when you play it at the cost of 5 life. Set 2 brought us the upgraded Bloodletting version, which allows you to upgrade a card per turn at the cost of 2 life while gaining attack on your drone. In our episode talking about in-faction fused creatures, we discussed the Magnivorous Reveler. Here, things are taken up a notch with the possibility of Volcanic, Chaining, or Devourer. Volcanic provides a near instant pump to attack damage. Chaining gives you the potential for 2 free spells as a response to your opponent's 1 spell, and the Devouring Reveler instantly allows you to weaken an opposing creature. Doom is one of the most entertaining new Forge words to come out of the Battle for Whitefang Pass expansion, allowing you to load one of your creatures into the theoretical catapult and launch them into the face of an enemy creature. What better accompaniment to a theoretical catapult than one that comes with its own ammunition? Load that wisp and fling away. Similar to the Vampiric Reaper we discussed during the previous episode, the Assailing Reaper allows you to initiate the attack increase instantly while providing some decent damage straight to the opponent. The Ferocious Skeleton, aka the Krogius Killer, is pound for pound the biggest monster on the playground, Arborist aside. This creature boasts a decent stat line along each level, but really turns it up a notch on 3rd as a 34-14 with 17 armor on deploy. Keeping on the theme of the Betrayer fused creatures having the potential to be just slightly better than their in-faction counterparts, the Vampiric Ravager takes this to the next level. Being able to activate its stat boosting ability instantly while not only gaining some life but damaging your opponent is an extremely strong play. The Summoning Bartok affords you the opportunity to order the deploy abilities and either put a buffed minion into play or increase the stats of the next creature you play this turn. At level 3, the Bartok can come on the field and bring in an 11-17 Spellswarm minion with him. The Specimen base creature brings 2 really different and really cool options. First up is the Rolling Specimen. Giving the Specimen mobility allows it to move around the backfield and ensure it's blocking opposing creatures to mitigate that incoming damage. Adding the ability to damage and potentially remove threats from the board all aids in its goal of stopping any damage from getting through your line. The Refreshing Specimen makes use of the Specimen's phenomenal health stat line to enable the potential to gain 45 life points across all 3 levels of play if replacing creatures. That value out of 1 card is astronomical, and makes the Refreshing Bear look like a small health trickle cub. These last 2 hold a pretty high status amongst the online Solforge community, so they may not come as a surprise, but I've saved potentially the 2 most powerful Forge creatures in the game that have yet to be seen in the wild. Let's start with the stitching duo of the Summoning and Mystical Stitcher. Rated against each other, the Summoning Stitcher has a slight power advantage based on bringing in the level 2 version of its minion at level 3 versus the Mystical Stitcher always bringing in the level 1 Wisp. But let's be honest, each time you are replacing that minion instantly with a creature from the banish pile. These 2 creatures' potential was seen very early and they received an errata before they ever surfaced in the wild. Originally, this card alone could create an infinite loop by replacing the minion with itself and continuing the loop. The errata in place to stop this infinite loop specifies that the Stitcher cannot grab its own copy with its own ability. You are still able to bring back a lower level Stitcher, but cannot target itself. Despite the errata, this card is still on the top of everyone's wish list. The Stitcher itself contains the Zombie and Scientist synergy creature types on 1 body, while having one of the most powerful abilities built in. Keep your eyes open for these 2. Much less contentious, but potentially the strongest standalone card in the game is the Kindred Shambler. Shamblers and shambling creatures in general are staples in the current meta. The secret to winning games with these creatures is keeping them on the board and outlasting your opponent's vitality. The Kindred Shambler has a built-in stat-boosting engine to help him stay on the field and throws in the added benefit of eventually getting big enough to throw huge swings of attack damage at your opponent, adding an entirely new pressure mechanic to the shambling playstyle. Talking through the fun combinations of Forge words and base creatures, you can see some of the rare possibilities out there to build decks and playstyles around. These cards are the rare of the rare and should be very hard to find. I would love to hear in the comments below if you have enjoyed using any of these forged creatures on the battlefield, or if there are some favorite Betrayer forged creatures out there that we haven't discussed. Thanks for attending this lesson of the Forgeborn Finishing School. If you like this video, please subscribe, comment, or consider donating to our Patreon account. I'm Casey Kidd, and I look forward to our next lesson.